1692 means we got shots fired 4:15 ASF.
Even though we have been talking about the numbers of people who attended the concert and the number of victims injured or killed, you really don't understand the magnitude until you see the rows and tables of personal belongings.
That was Sheriff Joseph Lombardo of the Las Vegas Metro Police Department in the press conference yesterday when police changed the timeline of the Las Vegas massacre. They say the first shot was actually fired at 9:59 last Sunday night. That is 6 minutes earlier than they originally thought. It's an important distinction because Stephen Paddock's first shot was not at the crowd. Instead, we now know it was the shot that wounded a security guard. Officials previously thought Paddock shot the security guard after killing 58 people and injuring hundreds more. Joining me now is Sergeant Sean Larkin from the Tulsa, Oklahoma Police Department, where he's a member of the gang unit. He is also an analyst for the A&E reality show Live PD. This is a huge development. He unleashed about 200 shots into the hallway and wounded this police officer before he ever started shooting at the crowd. What difference does that make in your mind?
You know, I think he was probably still in the process of getting things set up. Obviously, he had the mindset, the means being the weapons that he had to do what he was going to do at the crowd. My guess is that he was still in the process of getting that ready, and when the security guard just showed up, that was a catalyst that kicked this thing off a few minutes earlier.
So he shot the guard. It is unclear. I mean, we're seeing differing reports about whether that was a security guard at the hotel. It wasn't a police officer. And we're
Correct.
getting differing reports about whether that security guard was able to radio in and let people know that he had been hurt or what happened then. But does it change your mind about, I mean, the man was injured. He was hailed as a hero for stopping the shooting. But in fact, it all happened before. Does it mean that people should have moved faster? I mean, what's your assessment?
You know, with him getting shot, whether or not how fast he was able to radio down to the other security officers there in the hotel, the public needs to understand these things take minutes from the time an incident happens. The call goes into a 911 call taker, it then goes to a dispatcher and gets broadcast out to officers. The officers then have to respond there. So, as far as using the term hero for, initially we thought this is what, stopped him from shooting at the crowd. Still him showing up there, getting shot, it at least allowed, the responding officers, once this thing started, to know exactly where to go to.
Yeah, to know where they were. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Another detail that we got was that he was drilling a hole into the next suite. They never really figured out what that was about. What's your guess on that one?
I know he was, had used, from my understanding, some small metal plates and to the stairwell coming up to the 32nd floor and try to barricade that against entry. Fortunately, that the team that moved up there had a handheld breaching device. With the cameras he had set up, he could have been trying to set up additional cameras. He could have been possibly trying to mount a weapon, to be fired at officers as they responded into the hallway. Just as I said at the beginning here, I think he was still in the process of setting up the way he had wanted this thing to go down.
Right. They also said that they found medication in the room. They didn't specify what that was or what that was all about, but that raises more questions. That he shot 200 rounds into the hallway as well, and that he checked in on the 25th, not the 28th. All small details, but if you put them together, does it tell you that the hotel didn't have enough security?
No, not in my opinion. A lot of people obviously are talking about how could he have gotten all this stuff up there into his room without anybody noticing. And, this guy, as we have talked about, he appears just to be a regular looking guy. He comes there regularly to gamble. Nothing about him has stood out to anybody else, leading up to this that has been odd. With a hotel of that size, being Las Vegas, people are coming in and out of the lobbies, the rooms, the elevators all day long. And so if he didn't do anything to draw any attention to him, I think it'd been very difficult to spot.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sergeant Sean Larkin, thank you for your time.
Thank you.